I told my son that his twin sister died at birth. 11 years ago, I gave birth to twins alone in a hospital room. A boy and a girl. I was 23, worked 2 part-time jobs, and lived in a studio apartment with a broken heater. The social worker came in on day 2 and asked if I'd considered my options. I looked at both babies and knew I couldn't do this twice. So I chose. I kept my son Eli and signed the papers to give my daughter up for adoption. Closed adoption? No contact. They told me her new family moved out of state. The real problem started when Eli was old enough to understand words. My mom asked what I'd told people about the twin, and I panicked and said she died during delivery. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind, but then she said, "Okay, that's what we'll say." And that became the story. Eli's twin sister was born sleeping. We named her Grace, even though that wasn't true. And every year on their birthday, Eli would ask to see pictures of her. I showed him one ultrasound photo where you could see 2 shadows and told him that was her. He kept it in a frame by his bed. When Eli was 7, he started asking if she was buried or cremated. I said cremated because I couldn't invent a grave location, and he cried for an hour because that meant there was nowhere to visit her. The next week, he asked if we could spread her ashes somewhere. I told him I'd scattered them at the beach years ago, and he got angry that I didn't wait for him. He didn't talk to me for 2 days. When he was 9, he made a memory box for Grace. He put the ultrasound in it, along with a birthday card he'd written and a bracelet he'd made at summer camp. My mom saw it and said, "This is getting out of hand." But what was I supposed to do? Tell him the truth, that I chose him and gave her away? Last year, Eli's school did a family tree project. He drew Grace on a branch next to his and wrote, "Twin sister, age 10, in heaven," with a little angel sticker. His teacher called me in and gently suggested grief counseling because Eli talked about Grace like the loss happened yesterday. 2 months ago, I got a message on Facebook from a woman named Lauren Castelli. The subject line said, "About your daughter." She said she and her husband adopted a girl named Maya 11 years ago, and Maya had recently done a DNA ancestry kit for a school project. The results showed a close match. Eli. Maya wanted to meet her biological family. Lauren said Maya had always known she had a twin brother somewhere, and she'd been asking about Eli every day for 6 weeks. I didn't respond for 3 days. Then I replied and said no. I explained that Eli thought Maya was dead and finding out the truth would destroy him. Lauren wrote back and said Maya was destroyed too, knowing her brother was out there and didn't know she existed. I blocked her. A week later, Lauren showed up at Eli's soccer game. I didn't know until Eli came running over asking why a woman with a girl who looked exactly like him was staring from the parking lot. I walked over. Lauren had Maya with her. Maya looked like Eli with long hair, same nose, same eyes, same everything. She said, "Are you my birth mom?" I told Lauren she had no right to come here. Maya said, "Does he know about me?" And I couldn't answer. Lauren's face changed. "You told him I died, didn't you?" Eli was walking toward us. He got close enough to see Maya clearly and stopped. He tilted his head like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Then he looked at me. "Mom? Why does she look like me?" Maya stepped forward. "I'm Maya. I think I'm your sister." Eli laughed. That confused kid laugh when something doesn't make sense. "My sister's dead." Maya looked at me, then back at Eli. "I'm not dead. I'm right here." I watched Eli's face go through every emotion in 5 seconds. He turned to me. "Mom?" Lauren said, "Your mom placed me for adoption when we were babies. I've been alive this whole time." Eli looked at the memory box he'd brought to the game because it was their birthday weekend. He looked at Maya. He looked at me. Then he said, "You lied." Not a question. A statement. He dropped the memory box on the ground, and the ultrasound photo slid out into the dirt. Maya picked it up. Eli walked away and wouldn't get in my car. Lauren drove him home while I followed behind, crying so hard I almost crashed twice. At the house, Eli packed a bag and said he wanted to stay with my mom. My mom came and got him an hour later, and she could barely look at me either. That was 8 weeks ago. Eli won't come home. He talks to Maya on the phone every night, and I'm stuck listening to my mom tell me he's happier than he's been in years because he finally has the sister he grieved for his entire childhood.